Okay, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me on the mic? Hey booze, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see you. You know what we doing. It's a chit chat. Get ready with me. So we about to talk. I'm about to pour into you. And we gonna have a good old time. So you ready? Come on. Okay, so I went in already and I put my primer on. I like to use the Mattify primer by Revolution. Now I'm gonna go in with the Revlon sunscreen. Yeah, it's a primer that has SPF and it has a good amount of SPF. This one has 34, which I really like. I bought this when I went on vacation in Punta Cana and I used it for my skin whenever I was wearing makeup. It was amazing. We're gonna let that marinate into the skin, okay? I mean, y'all know how sunblock is. Anywho, how y'all doing? You know, today I wanted to talk about a couple things, right? And y'all know how I get to talking. We're gonna have so many messages in one. I went to church last Sunday, and just to update, your girl has got back into the church house, y'all. Like, I am so happy. I joined my church as well. Like, what is we doing? But anyway, I went to church and the pastor had talked on a topic. The message for that topic was familiarity can be the enemy. And in so many words, the pastor was just saying that newness is trying to enter into your life, but you are not making space for it because it's unfamiliar. And we like things that's familiar. But familiarity brings comfortability, and sometimes when we're comfortable we can stay in the same place, we can be stagnant, right? And when we're comfortable we are afraid of change and afraid of newness, so we don't allow new things to enter into our lives because those new things aren't familiar and they make us uncomfortable. So the topic was familiarity is the enemy. It was such a beautiful topic, and he broke it down like this, and I think this may help for somebody else who's listening. He said, if you go into your closet, he said, I kept saying that I need a new wardrobe, but I don't have space in my closet to buy anything else new. He says, because I have suits in there that, oh, that was a bad suit, and oh, this suit was customized, and oh my God, I love this suit, but I can't fit these suits no more. And he said, I had to realize that I'm holding space for things that served a purpose in my life at that time, but no longer is there to serve a purpose. I'm holding this space for this when I need to bring in new things that can help me right now, but I ain't got no space. Ooh, child. When I tell you, that was a message, and I kind of want to talk to you guys about that because I related to that in so many ways, and I think that a lot of us can relate to that. So can we talk? Can we talk about newness? Y'all, I had related to that message because I had noticed that I was really in a new space, and y'all, I've really been in a new space in my life. I mean, for the past, year and a half, 2 years or so. But I didn't really recognize that it was a new space because I was still doing some of the same things. So although I didn't have some of the same people in my life, you know, I didn't see how much, and I knew my life had changed. I didn't see how much it had changed because I was still operating as the same person, you know, doing a little bit of different things, but some of the same old things, you know. I was just sticking to what worked for me. And this is what I'm used to, and how to create a life to the things that I'm used to. But then, guys, I had started going through a transition where I started, you know, I think I had told you guys this past February, I had gotten to like a deep depression. And a part of that is because I was just so needed. I was doing so much for others, but I was so broken on the inside. You know, I had just suffered, you know, a major romantic loss, a major loss in my my family, not a death loss, but just a loss in the people that I call my family, you know, lost in my friends. So much was happening at my time, in my life or whatever. And, you know, I was still just trying to show up, And I'm gonna tell you something, that was a good indicator for me too. I didn't recognize it then, but when there's so much kind of like chaos going on around you, I like to find that that is a sign and that is a signal. And sometimes it's hard for us to weather the storm and or adjust to the chaos, because we're still trying to stick to the old ways of doing things. We're still trying to stick to the old script. We're still trying to stick to how we always handle things, X, Y, and Z, right? And I knew for me, like when chaos was going on around me, naturally I would just like stay focused to the plan, stay focused to the plan, stay focused to the plan, right? But I had started doing something different because I got older, and the older you get, the more wiser you get. I had learned that, you know, yeah, I'm this girl that just kind of picks herself up and keep it going, but like, when you gonna be the girl that just kind of sit in whatever she's dealing with, right? So I had to learn and master how to do that. But what I did not recognize was learning how to do that was creating space for a new Natisha to come in, because the old Natisha, when she would go through things, the old Natisha, yeah, she was honest about them, yeah, but the old Natisha had a mindset that like, listen, you gotta keep going and you gonna be alright, and crying is, what is it gonna do? Like, yeah, it's gonna feel good, but what are you gonna do? And listen, you can't tell nobody all of this, and you can't do this because you got to figure it out on your own. And I mean, all of these things, y'all, like I was going, so the old Natisha, you know, typically would just handle her stuff, deal with it for a quick minute, and then, all right, let's wrap this up here, right? But I didn't know that by me just kind of sitting and allowing myself to feel my feelings was actually new Natisha. Because now new Natisha, let me tell you something about new Natisha, right? One thing about it, she gonna feel whatever she need to feel. One thing about it, if Natisha right now in that moment is frustrated, she gonna be frustrated for a minute, and then Natisha gonna be like, all right, we gonna let it pass, you know. And one thing about it, Natisha is gonna validate herself. If she's mad, if she's frustrated, or if she's sad, you got every right to be. But guess what? We not gonna sit in this, right? So the new Natisha had to learn how to change her mind and her behaviors from doing certain things just to get different outcomes and results. And I kind of it related to that message because I was like, I was not making space for new. You know, I had to learn to make space for new, and that's what my journey has been looking like, guys. And I'm so happy that I am in a space of creating newness. I noticed that new was coming into my life because I had stopped being satisfied with how things were. And at one point in my life, I was just kind of satisfied. Like, all right, it is what it is. Like, I'm going to grind. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to get there when I get there. These things will come, right? I ain't got to feel rush, but if I don't have the motivation for it, cool. And that was all well and fine because, you know, I didn't have the energy and I didn't have the insight and I didn't have, you know, the motivation. I didn't have all of those things. Cool, I get it. But then after a while, y'all, that was just like, yeah, nah, like, I don't like this. And I'm trying, I want better because this is just too uncomfortable. This is not going to work for me. This, like, what I got going on now, this going to keep me in the same spot, and I don't want this for myself. I mean, it came down to friends. It came down to just where I gave my attention and what I gave my attention to. It came down to relationships, the type of people I would entertain. It came down to what I would see on social media, what I would watch, what I would listen to, like so much, because it was like I got to a space where I was just, I wanted better. I wanted more. I just wanted more, and I wanted more for myself. And I had to realize that if you want more for yourself, baby girl, you got to start acting like it. You got to start being like it. You got to start showing up as if this is what you want for yourself, you know. And I encourage that to you guys. If you want better, you got to start thinking that you deserve better. And once you get that mindset down, then you got to start practicing it too. And that's in anything. I had went to this women's not convention, but like this a women's event where, you know, women was sitting there and they was just, it was kind of like a women's empowerment event essentially. And all the girls, you know, what came to it. It was my first time going, but clearly they have this event all the time. And it's like an open space for women to just kind of like talk about what they're going through, you know, talk about the problems and how they're trying to get through it and XYZ, right? And I saw that it was an excellent event, and it was a good space for, you know, the women to be in, because it was very helpful and needed for them. And the panelists were people who, you know, whatever they do, whatever on social media. Some of them were book authors, some of them are fashion designers, that type of thing. One of the things that stood out to me the most though in that event was that I kept hearing all the women say the same things in that event, and it was along the lines of like just being the strong friend, always being there to show up for people, always being there when people need you, but for real you struggling, you lost, you don't know what you got going on, you don't know if you coming or going, you know, like these same people wouldn't do the same things for you, you know, you just want to focus on yourself. I mean, it was just the same common thing that every woman in the room kind of shared, you know, being scorned by friendships and other women, relationship issues. I don't think I came in at the later part of the ceremonies, I mean the event, so I don't know if they talked about men, but the part that I came in, they talked mainly about how women affected their relationships with men. You know, like some of their friends came in and affected their relationships with men. So it was that part or whatever. But point is, I saw that we all was sharing a common problem, you know, and I noticed that in the event, nobody had anything to say or like what advice to give or how to get through that. And you know me, I'm like, y'all ain't nobody got nothing to say. Give me the mic, let's talk about this. So y'all know I had to spill my little word in there, and I mean the response was like, damn, that was deep, you know, like, yeah, but it was important because I felt like the women in that room needed to hear something, and I couldn't like really elaborate because I didn't have all the time to talk, right, y'all? But let me tell you something. If you are one of them women who's struggling with, can y'all see my eyeshadow? I feel like my lights is too bright right now, so you can't see too much. But we'll bring it in. Okay, can you see the eyeshadow? Cool. But this is what I want to lend to you, right? And I said this to some of the women that was in there. You know, y'all have to really realize this. And this is what I mean. We have to create space for new. Sometimes when you feel like you are drained by your inner circle and you are the one that's always pouring, always giving, always showing up, it's time to change your circle. Because what you're thinking about is that, oh, I'm pouring so much into them, but I need them to pour into me. Sis, they can't do that. That's why you're the one that's pouring. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why they keep coming to you to get filled up. And I'm going to tell you something. You have to get around. That cannot be your only group. That cannot be your only circle. That cannot. I'm going to tell you that right now. You cannot be the main one in a group that everybody seek to take from. I'm going to tell you why you cannot, because it's exhausting. And every person, if you have so much to give and you going through someone, you putting out fires everywhere, we all need somebody to help us put out these fires, to help calm us, to help uplift us, to help make us feel good. We all need it. So if you are the one that's doing it for everybody around you, child, you tired, ain't you? It's time to change your circle. It's time to change. This speaks to a deeper issue though, because as I was listening in that group, I noticed that, and even as a therapist, women don't really know what's gonna fill them up. You know, like they don't know what drives them. They don't know what their purpose is, and trust me, been there, even kind of still in the midst of that, okay? But I got enough to tell you something, okay? I was struggling so bad trying to figure out like what fills me up. Like I'm pouring, but I don't know what pours back to me. I don't know what gives me what I need. I don't know. So girl, I tried every little thing. I stopped going to the clubs. I started spending more time with myself. I started being artistic and creative. You know, I started just spending more time at home. I tried to find shows and stuff like that. I started therapy. I started all of these things, right? And I'm not saying all these things that they didn't help. Oh, they was giving me a different type of feeling that I was not experiencing at first. Yes. But I noticed that it wasn't what I need. What do I need when I need to be emotional and I need guidance and I need, you know, insight and support? Like, yes, my therapist is helpful, right? But like, out of therapy, what do I need? What can I take? Like, what do I need, y'all? Let me tell you something. For me, I had to learn the type of filling up that I was needing, the type of pouring into that I was needing was spiritual. And I'm gonna tell you this, I don't know if this works for every woman. I'm just telling you, I had to define what works for me, and I'm gonna lend it to you because it may just work if you try it, but we can't, I mean, nothing beats a failure but a try. But so I'm just telling you, just try it. You know what I needed? I had to go to church. Listen to me when I tell you, I had to go to church. And it was because I am a spiritual person. And I am always connecting and talking to God and tapping in and just trying to find my way and all of that stuff. But I thought that was enough. Like, I thought that those things were enough until I got into the church house. Because something just kept saying, like, Natisha, I don't feel God. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not connected. I don't know what's going on. But Lord, why is all these things happening to me right now? And I'm talking to you and I'm praying to you and I'm talking and praying, but I don't feel you. And what's up? Because what I do know is that when trials and storms come, something greater is coming at some point. So I need to just kind of get in the storm and weather it. But God, I'm here, and like, what are we doing? Right? That ever happened to you, y'all? Like, when things just start getting crazy in your life, like things just start going all over the place and you losing fucking control. Girl, this is I get emotional when I talk about this because you know what it feel like, right? Like, you just really be like, hey. Oh my God, I'm sorry. You really be trying to give up. That's all. Like, you don't have no understanding. You know, you feel like, God, like, dang, what am I doing? Like, why is this so much? And I just kept praying and talking to God, but I didn't hear him and I didn't feel him. Something said, go to church. Just go to church. So I end up going to church, and I am instantly like, oh my God. Instantly. I mean, by the people that welcomed me in there, the songs that they were singing, just seeing people catch the spirit. Like, instantly, I was like, that's what I'm talking about, right? And let me tell you something what happened when I went to church. Girl, God is crazy. I'm going to tell you, God is awesome. Let me tell you, I like to tell every person, the moment that you decide to go to church, I promise you that message is going to be for you that day. And I don't know if it's like I want to stay tapped in. I don't know if it's like, just like a mind thing, right? Even if it is, it's phenomenal. Period. I go to church. And do you know the message of the sermon was that, oh, Lord. God is still with you. He ain't left. And I'm like, and the pastor says to me, in the church, but he's speaking to me. He says, you may feel like you ain't feeling God, but God is all around. But you know what he needs you to do? So I'm tapped in. I'm like, what he need me do? He needs you to slow down and pay attention. He needs you to stop using him as a drive-through. Hey, Lord, let me pick up my order. All right, back. Come see you in a minute. Hey, Lord. God needs you to, my camera cut off. The devil's busy. God needs you to just kind of spend some time and tap into, him. And pay attention to what's happening around you and why. And what is this trying to teach you? And what God needs you to sit down. But God ain't never left you. Let me tell you something. It took for me to go to the church house. That filled me up because I got a message that I needed in that moment. Like it's the wisdom that I receive. That's what really fills me up. And a lot of people tell me, like, you have a lot of wisdom. Like, you have a lot of wisdom, and I do. But I'm going to tell you something. I got my wisdom by always trusting in God. And for a long time, it worked for me, but I understand what people mean when they say, you can always worship God, from wherever you are, but it ain't nothing like being in the midst. I get it. I totally get it. Because for me, I needed to be in the midst. and that's why I received it. So what I'm trying to encourage you is this: you want to go to God, you want to go to church, try it out, okay? Nothing beats a failure but a try, okay? But what I'm telling you is, you got to figure out what actually is going to fill you. And you can try all of these material things. See if it works. Because I love being creative. That does fill me up. That does pull me. I love creating and designing. I love rearranging. I love all of that, right? I love a great day outside. I mean, I love all of that, right? But was filling that spot that I really wanted to fill, for me, it was going to go get connected into my source. So I'm encouraging you to find whatever's going to fill you, okay? We got to stop pouring, and then wonder why we so depleted and then don't know how to replenish it. Ooh! Oh, I see you working. Oh! Okay. Okay, get yourself together, girl. Get yourself together, girl. Come on. Oh, God, you are good. Oh. So in addition to finding out, like, what I really needed that was going to fill me up, and I had to sit and think, and I went to the church house, and I knew that tapping in spiritually was the type of feeling I needed. I noticed then that, okay, now my circle, I can keep my friends, you know, I can keep you, but does that mean that I got to give you all of me as I once was doing? I can't do that, because I noticed that when I'm giving all of me, it keeps me in the same spot, it keeps me doing the same things, right? It keeps me feeling the same way, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I had to do a couple things, and I'm encouraging you to do this too when it comes to your friend circles. I really had to pull back. I really did. And it was no diss to my friends, you know, like, it was no diss to that. It was just, I kind of got it. I gotta focus on me right now. So, you know, what does pulling back look like? For Natisha, it was, nah, y'all, I can't attend that event this weekend. Nah, y'all, I might not be able to show up to that one this weekend. I was always the girl that was everywhere. I mean, always the girl. I'm going to be at everybody's wedding. I'm going to be at your baby shower. Your kid's first birthday party, I'm there. Oh, you hosting something at your house? I'm going to be there. Oh, this what y'all doing? Oh, you got an event? Don't worry, I'm showing up. I was everywhere. I was everywhere. This was me showing up for my people. This was me. And of course, I get some benefit. I get to commune and have a good time. But I was everywhere. But because I'm so drained right now, Natisha got to learn to pull back. What does pulling back look like? I want you to think about that for yourself. What does pulling back look like? For me, I can't accept every invitation. For me, my answer is not always yes. I got to say no. What does that look like for you? Because you got to pull back to have some time to even sit and listen and pay attention to what's happening in your life. Do you hear me? Okay, so I pulled back and I stopped showing up. Let me tell you what I did then. I said, I need to surround myself with people that's more like-minded. There are some people that you have in your life that don't share the same goal as you, that doesn't want the same outcome as you. They have a whole different vision and goal and trajectory of their life, and that's beautiful. We are surrounded by those people, right? But because that there's so many differences, I may be on this, you know, path of my journey, and you may be pulling me down this path, and I don't really want to go down there because I'm trying to go hit. So that's what happens, right? When you're around people that don't share the same, you know, ideas and the same mindsets and the same, that's what happens, right? And listen, I think it's okay to be around people who don't do that. That's fine. But I also think it's okay to recognize you have people that don't do that, and where are your people that do meet you where you are? Where are your people that you do show extreme likeness in? Where are they? Because you got to have some type of balance, right? I'm teaching you a lesson here, okay? I had to find my tribe. Where are the people that pour into me? Where are the people that think like me? Where are the people that do things like me? Where are the people that, where are those people? You know, where are the people that I aspire to be like? Like, who can I look up to and say, this is who I would want to be, and I love this, and I love this. Where are the people that introduce me to newness? The newness that I like, where are the people that I can identify with that's on a higher level than me? Hear me out a little bit. Just hear me out. I don't like to say I'm greater or better than anybody. I'm not the girl to say that, right? What I'm saying though is that we all have a vision of what the next level of ourselves look like, what we want the next level of our lives to look like. But in order to really accomplish that vision, you got to be able to see it around you. You understand? You got to be able to see it around you. So where are you? What places are you in that's going to get you to the next level of your life? You got to see it. So how are you going to find that representation? You got to get around people that look like that. So that's what I'm saying to you, okay? You can have the people that y'all hear and y'all kick it, but you gotta make sure you got some people too that's, I want that, and I want to be able to do like that, and I love the space that she's in, and I love what this looks like, and ooh, she walked in here look like money. I want to get, I look good, but I don't look like that. Oh, when it's the next level in your life. I don't know what the next level of your life look like. I can't determine that for you. I just want you to start thinking about that, because that's where I am and that's what helps me. Okay. Child, not that I had a whole breakdown in here. I mean, a whole worship shirt, girl. Alright, I hope that message was for you, but let me finish my statement. What I'm trying to tell you is that you have to get around like-minded people, but you have to get around people too that are a little bit above you. They're on the next level that you want to get to. That promotes growth, guys. That promotes you focusing on you and you being where you need to be and getting to where you want to be. Do you understand? So do it however way you need to do it that works for your life, but I'm trying to tell you what you should do, what you need to do. As for me, going into the church, I seen and I seen women, you know, there that I could really relate to. But I seen women with fashions. I seen women there that was just strong. You know, I seen women that was just comforting and vulnerable. I mean, and listen, you don't always see this in the church, so I'm not one of the ones that say that's only in it. I'm not saying that. I hope that you catch the message that I'm saying. For me, where I went, this is what I saw, and I was like, bingo. But then I created friends that was just like, we on the same type of time. We love the same type of things. Like, oh, we about to cook in my house and just, you know, drink some wine and just kind of chill and like, let's do, oh, I'm with that. Let's do that. You know, like, oh, we about to just go take this walk. Oh, we about to go to, like, we getting cute today. Oh, let's do that. Like, I love it. Like, and it was just like, this is what I want to, this is where I am. So I just encourage you, to the women who, and to the ladies who's listening, if you feel like you are just so drained and you're trying to find yourself and you giving too much to the people around you, whether it be friends, y'all, whether it be family, whatever, I can't specify what you going through, but I hope that you get the message. You know, if you just feel like your cup is so empty because you keep pouring and pouring and pouring, I need you to pull back. Whatever pull back looks like for you, I need you to go ahead and pull back. For me, it was learning to say no. For me, it was not accepting every invite. I had to change the direction of which I was going into, you know, because I was doing so much. In addition to that, I had to really figure out what filled me up. Like, what gives me, what fills that spot in me that I'm like, yes, my cup is poured and now I can replenish. That's up to you to find out. But for me, I had to go connect with God. I had to go get in the church house, in the sanctuary. I had to go feel him. Here's the reason why I'm up here today, to say, let's talk about this. I had to go get my wisdom. I had to go fill my tank up in that area, because I'm always giving like that. I'm always doing, I'm always creating the aura. I'm always, I'm how do I fill me up? So I need you to really answer that question, okay? But I encourage you, go step into that church house. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Meaning, it may not work, but at least you tried it to see that it didn't work. But oh, what if it do? Oh, what if it do? Okay, so go step into the church house. But in addition to all of that, right? So once I filled out what filled me up, next it was, well, who are the people that I do relate to? Who are the people that I do aspire and want to be like? Where is that at? Where they hanging at? And where do I see that at? And how do I have that other balance of myself? Because I don't have all the answers, but I can see somebody to do. How do I surround myself around that? You got to build a whole nother tribe. You got to build your tribe, okay? But your tribe tribe, may consist of your friends that you kick it with and you help out from time to time with your boundaries, right? But then your tribe could be, I'm tapped in. You gotta find it. You got to. So anywho, y'all, that was such a nice event that I went to or whatever, right? But I found the pain point in that event. And I talked to my friend about this, a lot of times we can tell people like what the end result look like. Like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and oh, like I don't go through that anymore, and oh, this and that. A lot of times we can show people what the end result look like, right? But we never tell people how we got through it, how we're getting through it, what is working, what's not working. And that was the pain point that I saw there. And I'm gonna tell you something, as women, y'all, I think that we all need some type of guidance. We all need some type of structure. We all need some type of wisdom and support that we can go to other women and get that from. And a lot of times we judge women and tell them what they shouldn't be doing and what they don't deserve. We judge a lot of them instead of supporting them and offering potential solutions and or suggestions that tailor to the space that the woman is in her life. And I saw that at that event, a lot of women was expressing what they were going through, which was a good release, but they all looking around each other like, well, I don't know how to tell you to get through that, and I don't know what's working because I'm going through it too, and I don't know because my friends call me and I act like I got it together, but I'm crying on the inside like I don't know. And that was the pain point. Like I think it's important that we can't get so lost into just getting to the end and not telling people how to get there. Not normalizing what it looks like getting there and owning it. I encourage you today, if you have a level of vulnerability, and I have a high level of vulnerability. I don't mind being vulnerable, but also sometimes certain weaknesses I don't like showing, but I'm aware of that, okay? But I'm just talking about, if any of you guys who are whispering, who are listening, if you have a certain level of vulnerability, I want you to show somebody what that looks like, especially a woman. Show her what that looks like. Help her. Talk to her about where you've been before and what it looked like for you, and and how you felt. Relate to her on that, but I'm gonna tell you something, offer good insight and wisdom. Not something that worked for you, but something that that could benefit this person and what they're doing right now. Something that doesn't necessarily just make them be somebody they not, right? But give them something that you think that they could benefit from hearing at that moment. Whether it's, you know what, you are a queen, you deserve better, something like that, because you never know who hears that words and how powerful it is to them. So I don't want to minimize it. Whether it's that or whether it's what might really help you if you learn to say no. Try not picking up the phone one day and see if that works for you. Instead of, you need to stop just being so nice and you need to stop just, don't do that. Don't do that, because now that comes off as judgmental. Now that comes off as if you're not hearing me, you're not listening to me. Don't do that. So I encourage you. Y'all know I love me some women. I love me some girls. Y'all know I can get long-winded and get to talking, so I'm like, let me speed up this. But I hope that you guys got the message, and I hope that you do get it. Coming to talk here is so therapeutic, y'all, but I'm going to tell you, Nathisha was in so many directions, pulled in so many daggone directions, and Nathisha had to pull away from the things that, was happening in her life. And she had to really tap in and speak to God, and sometimes that's important for me. Like, I have to pull away from stuff. Like, I have to when things get crazy, because it's me not, I can't pour. Because the more things that I touch and I engage in, I'm naturally just pouring into it. I'm naturally just showing up for it. So I have to learn to pull back, and if I don't have it to pour, I cannot pour, but if I have it to pour, guess what? We gonna do it, so I'm so happy that I was able to come talk to you guys today. I always love coming to be able to just sit here and just talk to y'all and just support you guys and listen. Well, I'm not listening, but in so many words I am kind of listening, because I have an idea what you kind of going through, but you know what I mean. Not physically listening, I didn't mean to say that, but I just love being able to take you guys along my journey and just tell you how things are going for me, you know. And I know that a part of my journey, because I'm always led by faith, I'm always led by God, I'm always just led by, you know, believing and trusting in God's plan. It's important because I'm led by it and it works for me. I send that message to a lot of you guys because maybe one day it will lead you, who knows, but at least you see that a girl who loves God, you know, be going through the same experiences, and this is what she do to get to it. Maybe I'll try it, okay? And it gets better. It gets better. It promotes growth, you know. So, and I know the women that I have impacted and touched on my platform. Come on, God, like, what is going on? Girl, I'm trying to get the lashes on. I'm just kind of like, just tearing up. But what I'm saying is, I know the women that I touch on here, you know, and I know a lot of you guys who have listened to me, your life has been going well just based on some of the things that I encourage you to do or I encourage you to think about. I know, so, you know, I show up for you guys because, you know, I know you need it. But I'm going to tell you too, I need me too. So it really is so that I have a healthy balance of just me and everything. You know, I have to just kind of pull away sometimes and really get myself right. Because one thing about it, I'm no hypocrite and I don't ever want to be that. So we're going to go with Honey Love on the inside. Y'all, I'm doing a nude look because I'm trying to take some photos for a flyer. And I want it to be nude. And I feel like even with my natural nudes though, they look different every time. I don't know what it is. Y'all ever feel like that? For the girlies who just do like their nude makeup, I feel like my nude looks don't always come out the same. They look different every time, which I love. So hey, I hope this resonated with you. Leave down in the comments like what you took away from today's video, and like, you know, if you have anything to give to any woman in addition to what I'm talking about, leave it down in the comments. Like, I love when other people leave their own insights and stories and advices, and you know, whatever it is. It don't have to be said like me, but you don't know who you may help and touch. So I love comments. I want you to leave them down there. Please do. You know, whether I respond to them or not, and I try my best to get to them, but y'all, sometimes I just don't even get to them. I'm being honest here, but I love when people leave comments, especially if you telling about your own experience or you giving some advice or helping somebody out. So leave a comment down below if you have something to add, you know, for the girlies who just kind of feel washed out, for the girlies who need pouring into, for the girlies who, you know, is just always the strong one and they're weak and they're trying to not be weak. They're trying to hold on. They're trying to get better. They're trying to do better, but they got so many things pulling at them. What do you have to say? Have you been there? What has worked for you? You know, and or what part of this advice are you going to take from? Like, leave it down below, y'all. Now, this video is long enough. Now, let's just kind of talk about it right quick. This foundation is way too dark for me. This is the, what is this? Maybelline New York. This is the 30-hour, the Super Stay Active Wear Foundation. It's supposed to be like a matte foundation. It's supposed to be like a matte foundation. It is actually matte. Great coverage, really matte. It's a good foundation. I don't sweat at all in this, but I just think this is too dark of a color. I have it in 375, and I said, okay, well, after like highlighting and all of that, maybe it'll help. And then also it's the summertime, so I don't mind switching my foundation, but I think it's too early. Like, I don't need to go this dark of a color, y'all. Like, can you see that? So this is a beautiful foundation, y'all. I bought it from the beauty supply store. It's thick, it's matte, like it has good coverage. It really, this is good. This is the damn Active Stay. I don't sweat in this foundation. Y'all know me, I'm a matte girl. I love everything. Let's keep it matte. Let's keep it that. Great foundation, y'all. I'm gonna see if I could find it in a color that's gonna match me. This 375 is just too dark. and I think it's too dark too soon. Nonetheless, the look is pretty. I'm about to take some photos, but you know, on the camera right now it look dark, but I might review this footage and be like, damn girl, you look good. So if I look good, okay, then you look good, because you do look good. The lips are sitting, the eyes, the lashes, you look good, okay? But it's just a little dark from what I see, but we'll see when I kind of move around. But it looked dark to me. What y'all thinking? This foundation, y'all used it, y'all like it? It's a good foundation. It's just, I feel like it's not the right color right now, but real cute. I love you. I see you. We'll talk soon. Bye. Mwah.